We've been mentioning this on the last few podcasts, and this month it's finally here. CheeseFest 2022 in Rymill Park. Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the 14th, 15th and 16th of October. And joining me on the phone is South Australian cheesemaker and the director of CheeseFest, Kris Lloyd, AM. I could do a full podcast just talking about the list of Kris's accolades, such as winning the 2010 Telstra Business Women's National Award for Business Innovation or being appointed Queen's Birthday Honours for significant service to the artisan cheesemaking industry, to education and to tourism. But I'll try and keep it focused on CheeseFest. Kris, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Thank you for the lovely introduction too.
No, that's okay. I have done a little bit of research. So I've seen that you've been involved in cheese making for around about 25 years. So I guess it comes as no surprise as cheese plays an important role in the festival. But where did your passion for cheese and cheese making come from, and how did CheeseFest start?
Yeah, look, I think the passion for cheese was really quite accidental, to be perfectly honest. So we have a family vineyard, and we were thinking, gee, it'd be really nice to do some value-add products. So, we started doing olives and olive oil, and then for some reason I just kind of thought, gee, wouldn't it be great to have cheese? Then maybe we could kind of like do a beautiful farmer's platter. You could have a glass of wine and sit in the beautiful gardens at our vineyard. So it was just something that just, it cropped up quite accidentally. And as it worked out, this cheese factory here in South Australia came up for sale. And we thought, oh, okay, maybe that might be the way to go about it because, while I wanted to make cheese, none of us knew how to make cheese. So that was just a small problem, right? And so we ended up buying the factory up at Woodside, where we still are to this day. And, it was never really my intention to be the cheesemaker. I would manage the business, and my background is marketing, so that's really what my focus was going to be. Long story. I ended up going in one day because everyone was sick, and I had to make the cheese because there was nobody else to do it, and I just fell in love with the process. And to this very day, I have to say, I'm still fascinated by the magical process of turning milk into cheese and the hundreds of different varieties of cheese that can be produced just from one product. So that's it, kind of in a nutshell. The reason to have CheeseFest, when I first started making cheese, I just realised there was this incredible cheese galaxy out there, and we certainly weren't one of the pioneers of cheese. It really dates back many, many, many years ago, but there's generations of cheese makers in France and Italy and the UK and Switzerland. I just thought it'd be really fantastic to just go and, visit a whole bunch of different countries and see what cheeses they were making. My visits to Italy, I found that the cheesemaker was, well, I guess in many respects more important than the local doctor. The cheesemaker was, considered like godly. And I just thought, well, I want a piece of that. And, I visited a couple of cheese festivals, but one in particular, which is run by the Slow Food Society, and it's just called Cheese. It's in the Piedmont region in Italy, where they close the whole city down and just celebrate cheese, the cheesemaker, everything cheese. And I just thought, I think I'm going to try and do something similar to that. So I was very inspired by that and came back and basically, just thought, I'm going to try and put together a festival. Now, that was in 2006, where I attracted 800 people. And I thought, whoa, this is just incredible. Fancy that, me being able to attract 800 people. So then the festival's grown. So we're into our 14th year now. And I think this year, I hope we get lots and lots of people there and we can, tip our numbers up to 20,000. That'd be amazing.
Has it always been at Rymill Park, or did it sort of in the early days start off, at your business and then it grew? I think was it in Victoria Park or down that way one year as well?
Yes, it started. It actually started in McLaren Vale. So we did it at McLaren Vale's Visitors Centre, at the back of McLaren Vale Visitors Centre the first year. And we had it in McLaren Vale for a couple of years. But I guess what we realised was centralising it would just give us so much more opportunity to reach a broader audience. And look, we moved it and, exactly that is what happened. We just ended up being smashed and, the numbers just grew exponentially year on year on year, obviously until we hit COVID. There you go. So, it did start in a smaller way and out in the regions. And I guess I always wanted it to be out in the region, but, it was just it proved to actually be a really good decision to bring it into the city.
Thankfully, now we're getting post-COVID. I think everybody's, getting back to normal and everybody's wanting to go out. So CheeseFest 2022 is going to be big. How many cheeses will feature at the festival?
Oh, look, the actual cheeses, I couldn't even begin to tell you, but I would say to you that every single cheese style that anybody is looking for, I think they will find at CheeseFest. We've got a bunch of amazing cheesemakers, not just here from South Australia. They're coming all the way from Tasmania, Victoria and New South Wales, which is really wonderful now to have all of our, cheesemaker cousins from the eastern seaboard and further afield. Just to be able to welcome them back. It's wonderful just to have such a beautiful community of cheesemakers that can all come together and work together. And generally what happens at CheeseFest, and this is not just with cheese, but also with the other products that we have there, so we're featuring some just beautiful Australian produce, a lot of South Australian produce, but I will still say Australian as well, is that the maker comes along as well. And so we find that people really just want to engage with the makers and ask some questions about how they make their products. Meet the maker is always a really wonderful thing. I think people are really interested to know the backstory to a lot of products as well.
One of the things that I'm very curious about, my knowledge on how to make cheese is extremely limited. So, excuse me for asking this. I know cheese is obviously made from milk, but I did notice on your website it says that also vegan cheese is available. So if you're not using milk to make the cheese, like how's a vegan cheese made?
Yeah, look, thanks for bringing that up, actually, because that was something that I wanted to mention. I guess one of the things is that, with CheeseFest, we like to be all-inclusive, and for us to be able to have some vegan cheese for those that do not want to eat cheese, I think is a fabulous idea, just like we will have gluten-free crackers and all of that. It's all of that free from that we just try and, be as diverse as we possibly can and welcome everybody. So having the vegan cheese there, this is the first year that we'll actually be doing that.
Okay.
So the vegan cheese is made from, generally it can be made from cashew milk, almond milk or oat milk. And we have some really great expressions of vegan cheese. I think some of the vegan cheese I find a little bit challenging. I am a purist. I mean, I still like my cheese made from milk, milk as in from an animal, whether it's cow, goat, buffalo, sheep, even camel. But some of the vegan cheeses I think that are available now are far improved from perhaps some that I tried, say, a couple of years ago. So they're just getting better at understanding what they're doing. So yeah, that's something that'll feature as well, which is really great. So if you're vegan and you want to come along, we've got you covered.
And if you're not vegan and you just want to try it out to, see the taste difference, or, could even be better than, don't mean it to sound offensive, but it could even taste better than normal cheese. I'm not too sure.
Well, I'm just going to leave that one alone. But no matter what, you can come to CheeseFest and you can stuff yourself full of cheese, whether it's vegan or not. We've got all the beautiful cheeses there, from the pasta filadas, the stretchy cheeses like your bocconcini and mozzarella. We've got, semi-hard cheeses, your Comte styles and whatever. We'll have some international cheeses there as well. But But yeah, generally most of the cheese makers that will be there will be local or Australian cheese makers. So yeah, we're very, very excited to be able to put the festival on again without, the restrictions that we've had to endure over the past couple of years. It was very, very restrictive and, a lot of hard work putting on a festival with all of that in mind. So to be able to do it in a freer way this year, I feel, it'll just be something that I'm sure people will come along to and really enjoy. And guess what, Matt?
What's that?
We can dance.
We can, yes.
So Friday night, just because of that, we're actually going to put the CheeseFest disco on Friday night. So we'll have Mark Camley, a local DJ, on the vibes. And so, come and have a glass of champagne or whatever and a cheese plate and, get on the dance floor and have a boogie too.
So that's on Friday night. So that's the 14th of October. I think gates open at 4 p.m. So
that's right.
Perfect time to get down there, celebrate the end of the working week. You have the music on.
Absolutely.
Ticket.
Yeah, have a couple of bevies and then sit down and enjoy. Hopefully we have some beautiful weather. That would be great as well.
Yep. Tickets $18 for the Friday night. Is that right?
That's right. Yep, absolutely.
And you can buy them online. Can you also buy them at the gate?
Yes, we will do some ticket sales at the gate, but we are restricted to a final number at some point. So we do recommend that people buy their ticket online just to save waiting as well. It's simply a scan and in you come. So, that would be our recommendation, but we will have some ticket sales at the gate as well.
Fantastic. Give me a small wheel of brie and a box of crackers and I can finish that in a single sitting. But for those who may not necessarily like cheese or they want to, have something else to eat, will there be other stalls available featuring other produce other than cheese?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We will have a vast array of different items available. And, that can be from, we will have anchovy bandits slinging pizzas. We've got beautiful honey suppliers. As well as that, we will have a toasty bar. So obviously that has got cheese in it, but we'll be making some beautiful gourmet toasties. We've got Franklin Harbour Oyster Company on board this year, and they'll be doing beautiful, freshly sharked oysters. And they'll be right next door to that'll be the oyster bar. They'll be right next door to the champagne bar. So I think you know where you're going to find me. We've also got barbecue K-Roo barbecue coming along, and they do some amazing roux burgers. We've got beautiful charcuterie from Parma Handcrafted. The raclette. Do you know the raclette? That's that melty cheese that goes either on top of potatoes or just on a big chunk of bread.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be amazing. As well as that, we'll be doing the pepicaccio, which is the wheel of parmesan or Romano. Actually, it's Romano, and the spaghetti is actually cooked in there. It's a very, very Italian, and it's actually Rob Paglia from the Victoria Park Social Club. He'll be doing that, and he'll do a great job of that, as well as a paella. And then, a number of different, obviously, cheeses. There'll be pickles. Just a really, really gorgeous array of different producers. Spring Gully will be there. We have almonds, chocolate. So I think we've got everyone covered. It's kind of like the cheese festival that's turning into a cheese and food festival. And the bevies, we've actually got this really interesting. I'd love to talk to you about. Bowden Brewing have made a special beer for us.
Okay. And
they've actually called the beer BYO Cheese. So the cheese has flavours in it and has been infused with quince, so like quince paste, and crackers. So the idea is you bring your own cheese. And it really does taste like quince and crackers. And so they'll have that available. They're actually launching that beer. It's a collab between us and them. They're launching that at CheeseFest. So we're sort of saying, just go and grab a beautiful, nice cold beer. And like you say, a brie, pack of crackers and off you go.
Sounds like there's going to be something for everybody. So Friday night we've got party night with the music, and then Saturday and Sunday it's on as well. Concession tickets $20, adult ticket $25, or you can get the weekend pass for $40.
That's right.
I think with the tickets as well, did you get a wine glass is included?
That's right. Yes, everyone that comes in will get their little wine glass, a souvenir wine glass, and a tote bag.
Okay.
So we hope, and each day we have a map, so they can just pick up a A4 map, which will show them where all of the different stallholders, are situated. If they want to have pizza, they can go, okay, yep, that's where that's at, and it'll show them on the map. As well as that, we will also have lots of sanitizer and keeping everyone clean and all of that, making sure that everyone is safe at CheeseFest. We're still very mindful about some people, making sure that they're just feeling safe when they come along as well is obviously really important to us.
On the Saturday and Sunday, as well as having that great food and drink available, there's the Foodland Masterclass and cooking demo stage, and which will host some special guests, one of them being Australia's most, I would say, recognisable food critics. I think you could blur out his face and that iconic cravat would give his identity away. So Matt Preston will be on stage on the Saturday, and also Chef Gary Megan, just to name two of them.
That's right, on Saturday and Sunday. They're on both days. So they're our ambassadors, so masters of fromage is what we're calling them.
Yep.
And I'm delighted to have Matt back. He's very, very generous with his time. He stops and chats with people and signs people's glasses and does. He's just wonderful. Gary, I know Gary well, and we haven't had Gary at CheeseFest before, but I'm absolutely delighted and welcome him with open arms. The other one to watch out for, which will be really interesting, is Poe, Mandy Hall, and Rose Adam, who will be on stage all together. Now, I reckon it's going to get messy, loud, and I reckon there might be a few hecklers in the audience, and I think one of them might be Matt and the other one might be Gary and me.
So by the sounds of it then, you said that, Matt loves to sign glass, and so they're not just going to be on stage and then, whisked out the back. They're actually going to be mingling with the crowd as well, so you can actually get to meet them in person?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. As I said, and I can only really speak for Matt because this is Gary's first time. But I mean, I was doing the guard of honour, trying to protect him. And the first time he came to CheeseFest, and he said, "Kris, I think I'm okay." And he was just so generous with his time. If someone wanted to stop, look, I think he even signed someone's birthday card. It was just gorgeous. He was really lovely, very, very generous with his time. And he'll be cooking, I think, 3 different dishes.
Okay.
The Foodland cooking demo stage is free. And so anybody that comes into CheeseFest is welcome to come along and sit in the pavilion. It's first in, best dressed. Obviously, we only have a certain number of seats available, but there's also, spillage around the sides that people can just watch, and we'll have screens as well. One of our masterclasses, which I think will be really quite interesting, and again, this is a new addition to CheeseFest this year, is Dave Can from Cleaver Salumi Cabinets. So he will be actually taking people through how to make salumi. He will show people. They will go away with a little goodie bag. That one is a purchase a ticket though, and he will show people how to make the salumi. We'll have a little tasting as well, and then he's actually selling his salumi cabinets, which could also be a cheese cabinet as well. So if you're that way inclined and you like making your own stuff, imagine making your own salumi. I just think that's awesome. So I can't wait for Dave's, masterclass. I think it'll just be really, really awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. It all sounds really exciting. So that's CheeseFest, a celebration of Australian cheese, food and beverages, Friday the 14th, Saturday the 15th and Sunday the 16th of October. Kris, lovely chatting. All the best for it. Hope it all goes well, and thank you very much for your time.
Oh, no, thank you, Matt. It's been absolutely a pleasure speaking with you today.